Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, my dear brothers and sisters, viewers of Imam Hussein TV and viewers of Behind the Wheel, inshallah you are well. Today we are very, very honored to have, I would probably say, one of the best up-and-coming reciters. He's shaking his head because he's a modest guy. But mashallah alayh, it's an honor to have a friend of mine with me, brother Yusuf Okera. Assalamu alaikum. Habibi Yusuf, how are you? Mullah Yusuf al bro, long time no see, man.
It's been a while, man. How are you?
How's it going? You well?
Alhamdulillah.
So first of all, I need to say thank you because I know that you've come all the way from Brahmistan.
It's a great honor to be here with you once again.
You've come from Birmingham in the morning, and I know it's early.
It's pretty early.
We really appreciate you coming down.
Alhamdulillah, it's a great honor.
No, the honor's all ours, bro. Mullah Yusuf, just talking about your upbringing, your childhood, you know, I'm pretty sure you're born in the UK.
Yes, sir.
So tell us about kind of that period of life, 0 to about 8, 9. What was that like for you?
Assalamu alaikum. First of all, to all the dear viewers, and once again, it's a great honor to be here with
Honor's ours, bro.
Haaj Hayder.
Honor's ours, Habibi.
And to discuss about such an unworthy person like myself.
Oh, bless you.
It's a great honor to be here. So the world of recitation simply started at the age of 4 for me. As you asked, I was born and bred in London, Northwick Park Hospital, just to be specific.
No way.
Yeah.
It's like literally 5 minutes from my house.
Amazing.
That's crazy.
So born there, started at the age of 4. My first recitation was in Babul Murad Centre in Wembley. My very first
Ajib.
was in Babul Murad Centre, and that wasn't an option I had. I was forced to go recite.
That's it.
By my dad.
Dad?
I'm a reciter. You're going to be a reciter as well.
Mashallah, your dad's a reciter as well?
Oh,
I didn't know.
My dad started a very, very, very long time ago.
Wow.
In the 1970s. Since then until today, alhamdulillah, he's reciting.
Mashallah. So that's a very interesting one then. Yeah. So because your dad was a reciter, as you know, in your words, it was kind of, there was no option. You had to recite then.
I guess I wouldn't say he forced me, of course. Of course he didn't force me.
No,
but
he didn't have a stick chasing you. But as in, like,
exactly.
But at the age of 4 or 5, you don't really have a choice. When your parents tell you to do something.
Absolutely. But I guess I was lucky to get the opportunity. Definitely. Not every parent is a reciter, and not every child gets that opportunity, even if the parent is a reciter.
Right.
It's still very difficult. Just because my father has a voice, it doesn't mean automatically I'm gonna get that exact same voice. Or
and we've seen examples, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I guess that was very good luck for me, from my side, alhamdulillah. For my dad to be a reciter, definitely. There is no bigger inspiration than my dad until today.
MashaAllah.
I looked at him reciting, I sat next to him while he was reciting, and that passion just grew, like, alhamdulillah.
Did you feel any pressure?
I didn't feel any pressure, alhamdulillah. So other than my dad, the whole environment was just simply either the Azadari or the Fazail of Imam Hussein
alhamdulillah.
Starting from my grandfathers, my great-grandfathers, moving on, and my aunties, my close uncles.
You got quite a big family, Mullah?
Yeah, the Okera family. For all the viewers that know the Okera family, they all know it's a pretty big family, man.
Yeah.
Based out of the whole globe.
MashaAllah. And where you originally from, the Okeras?
So originally, all Khojas are from India, of course, I'm sure you know that. But some migrated to different parts of the world.
Yes. So I know Tanzanian Khojas.
Yes, there's Tanzanian.
There's Kenyan Khojas.
There's Kenyan. There's Somalian.
Somalian Khojas.
So it actually started. The majority of them started after India. Many of the forefathers and the ancestors actually moved to Somalia. So speaking in my case, both my parents were born and bred in Somalia.
Really?
Somalia
or Somaliland?
Somalia. Inside Somalia. And then my mom lived most of her life in Somalia. My dad moved to Kenya. That's where he was raised up. Right. So the Okera family is from Somalia originally.
This has become a history lesson as well, Mullah Yusuf. Look
Not many people know this.
I had no idea, bro.
Many people come to me directly straight away. Are you Pakistani, Khoja? Indian Khoja, Somali, impossible, man. How does that work out? You don't even look it. Yeah, I know, I don't look it.
Yeah, I guess your parents. I think obviously your parents are not Somali, just because I was born in Scotland. I'm not Scottish, right?
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I know. When you become a teenager and your friends are playing football, was it ever difficult for you balancing both worlds? Because
I think it was, for me, it was everything just came across as beautiful, alhamdulillah. It was just a great blessing, honestly. Like, I'd see myself busy in the best of things. The majority of the week, alhamdulillah, we'd be receiving a lot of phone calls and invites to go to people's houses. That's where it started, to be honest.
Yeah.
It started at the center with my first performance, but after that, of course, my encouragement started to increase from the houses. People like the local houses, many calls.
Of course, and mashallah, now it's international, and
alhamdulillah,
I know you joined various ziyarah groups, and so maybe we'll touch upon that later. Fast forward to like teenage years, and you were raised in Northwest, Northwest London.
Harrow, exactly.
Okay. How was high school? What was that like for you? The community that you had?
Good. So I had a lot of Iraqi brothers.
No way. What school did you go to, by the way?
Haaj Hayder.
Okay.
I'm sure you know Haaj Hayder.
I've heard of it. Yeah, I've heard of it.
Had a few Iraqi brothers. Alhamdulillah, a few of them knew a few of my family members. So in fact, a few of them knew that I'm a reciter already.
Oh, mashallah.
So sometimes I'd be getting mocked, "Oh, you're going to read on that today?" Yeah, big programs and that, and stuff like that. But high school wasn't hard to balance at all. Once again, as I said, everything just worked out perfectly. Sometimes it's just the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Of course.
You don't have to plan every single thing. I think
that's one thing that probably nowadays for the brothers and sisters, I can speak for myself, but also I'm sure there's brothers and sisters at home listening to this.
Yeah.
Where sometimes we try to be so meticulous with our... I should hold on to the steering wheel whenever. I was moving that way. There are sometimes we try to plan things so particularly and so meticulously, but it doesn't really work out like that. It seems like a big part of you on this journey and growing up to where you are now is putting a lot of reliance on knowing Allah's plan will take care of things.
Absolutely. Like, I had to be at the studio for 9 a.m. today. Unfortunately, I delayed it. So as much as I try planning, it's not going to work out that well, is it?
The example is that you were late. Fantastic.
However, yeah, bro, that's all it is. Honestly, sometimes you just got to let go, take a chill, you know.
Yeah.
It's as if you're going for a normal recital.
So I presume after, or with high school, you then went to college as well, university as well?
Yeah.
What did you study in university?
Currently studying in university.
You're still in university?
Yeah.
So yes, you're
20 years old.
You've got a year left?
I've got a year left, exactly.
And what are you studying?
It's like business management.
MashaAllah.
Business management. I just thought to myself, I shouldn't be thinking, have I got a year left? Time flies that quick. I've been in Birmingham for a year already, man.
MashaAllah. Inshallah, Allah
it's been going on well.
Give you the tawfiq to succeed in that journey. So yeah, I mean, it's not something that is, as we discussed, easy. Where do you think that comes from, that like belief, that nature that you have, that you're happy to just put your reliance on Allah, quite confident? Because that is really like tawakkul, right?
Yeah.
And that's quite a difficult thing to have in some moments.
It's hard, definitely. Once again, it just goes back to my father, may Allah bless him, and my mother as well. When it came to my father, I could see him, like every time I sit next to him, he wouldn't like, even if he's reading the lyrics sometimes, like to read, he doesn't even take the pressure. Even if he makes a mistake with his word, he doesn't make it obvious. That just shows tawakkul. Like, you know who you're doing it for, you know the purpose. Just take it easy, no worries, leave it with him, and he's the best of planners. And I'm sure that comes to every aspect of life. It's not only reciting, whether it's balancing time between reciting and school or university. I think sometimes everything comes to the blessed part of your journey.
I think you're right.
If you get where I'm coming from. But I'm not saying just let it go as well.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be prepared as a person as well.
There's a saying as well. I think it might be a hadith, but I don't want to say that just in case.
Yeah.
That says aqal thumma tawakkal, which is basically, first of all, use your mind and logic to make a plan, then put your tawakkul on Allah.
Absolutely. You always have to have a plan and know what you're doing. You can't just go like...
otherwise you'll flop. Okay. Doesn't make sense. No, very good point. Okay. So in terms of the other types of influences, I know there are some really big Urdu reciters.
Yeah.
Growing up, was there anyone that you really listened to that made you think?
Yeah, my goat from young age was Mir Hassan Mir Sahab.
Mir Hassan Mir is basically the Basim al-Karbala of the Urdu world. He's the GOAT.
Absolutely.
Messi and Ronaldo.
In the Pakistani world, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, in my opinion, I know many people may have other opinions, so I'm not
Yeah.
Just saying for myself.
That's it, I'm asking you, don't worry.
Yeah, definitely. Mir Hasan Mir Saab, I think if there's anyone's Latamiya's Qasidas started to recite, it was his. He was someone I used to listen to from very young age. In fact, I remember very, very funny moments just when I was sleeping, when I was a young boy, whatnot, struggling to eat cereals in the morning before school, demanding to listen to him only.
Wow.
You know, so like that was also during my journey of recital. So Mir Hasan Mir Saab, in many aspects, especially the reciting part, he's the one and only for me.
MashaAllah. I've got actually a Mir Hasan Mir track, which I know is one of your favorite ones. So let's have a quick play of it. I'll forward it to
हल्कों से लोग महशर में हमें हुसैन
I was gonna ask you for a bit of a translation as well.
Don't worry, that's fine.
जन्नत में साथ ले जाओ हुसैन
This is the main chorus now.
Coming up.
So what was the verses talking about up to the main chorus there?
कहेंगे मातमी हल्कों से लोग महशर में. So on the day of judgment, all the lamenters will be told, or will say, हमें हुसैन की जन्नत में साथ ले जाओ. Take us to the same jannat where Hussein is. And then was coming the chorus.
Yeah. The chorus you're gonna also, well, I was gonna say, can you recite for it alongside? God bless you. Go for it.
Hussein band rahe hain, nijat le jao. Hussein is distributing salvation. Come and collect yours.
MashaAllah.
Nahi karuga lahad main intizar Subhanallah. I want to tell you why this is one of my favorites as well.
Please.
It's a bit of an interesting one, to be honest.
Tell me.
Sheikh Nur Muhammad.
I
don't have to introduce him for anything. Anyone watching this knows.
You must be spending a lot more time with him now in Birmingham as well, right?
More, alhamdulillah. So this is also his favorite.
Okay.
He loves this.
He doesn't speak Urdu though.
He doesn't speak Urdu, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the only Urdu piece that Sheikh Nuru kind of has some basic understanding of.
Okay.
And this what happened was, it was last year, 3rd Sha'ban, and we were in Birmingham, and I just came back from Germany, bro. I literally left Manchester airport.
By the way, every time I speak to you, you're on a mission where you've just landed, or just leaving, or just coming, or just going, mashallah.
It gets like that, man. Alhamdulillah. So I left Manchester airport, came back from Germany, going to the mosque, and the main program had actually finished. It was 3rd Sha'ban, the Wiladat of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And the program had finished, and Sheikh Noor said, look, it's a shame, man, you've come late. Let us do a round 2. There's so many youngsters here. And let's all sit down, like, never mind anyone, don't worry. We can sit down, collect the mic, start reciting, and just do it, you know. So Hussein band rahe hain, that was a very, very blessed night. Why? I literally started a few verses. Alhamdulillah, it started with a few people. The population then started increasing. But not only that, like, I think for the 2 weeks after that, bro, my social media was like literally popping. And many platforms were like, bro, I'm saying cities I've not even heard of in my life posted that. And I've recited that kalam, that piece many times. But after then, it just had a major impact on me. Like, I just felt something a bit different, a bit than normal. And you know what, after that I just started reciting that more and more. And I've recited it many times before that, but as you keep on reading and the more you think about it, the words seem more beautiful. Like, it just seems new to you again, isn't it?
Yeah, because we I think even in Iraq, because you joined us on the trip to Iraq, to Iran in June, Iran and Mashhad with Haraka Tours. And I think you even recited that there. I remember
did at one stage a few verses.
Yeah, I recognize some of it.
I did. We did it in Arwain this time as well. So after last year, after the trend of me and Sheikh Noor and Nabil Fa, I said to Sheikh Noor, we were in Qasr al-Dur. He was leaving for the walk, and so was I.
Yes.
I said, look, if you got 5 minutes, I just want to take a video doing Hussein Band
That's it.
and I want you to read with me.
That's the anthem now.
And yeah, that's become the anthem, exactly. And even that, alhamdulillah.
Can you recite the chorus for us?
Yeah.
Maybe a cappella?
Hussein baant rahe hain, nijat le jao, kuch aansuon ke ivaz कायनात ले जाओ. Hussein is distributing salvation. Come take yours. कुछ आंसुओं के एवज कायनात ले जाओ. In exchange of your tears, come and take the whole universe.
Allah.
Is
Urdu poetry is very deep.
It is deep.
Like,
it is deep.
So being someone that understands Arabic,
yeah,
and obviously I write a bit of English.
Yes.
So the English side is for me probably the most basic type of poetry. I'd say Arabic is far more complex, but Urdu for me seems like it's on another level. I don't understand it.
It's hard, especially for me, not speaking Urdu as a first language. Urdu just came very late into my life. In fact,
really?
Yeah. Because I started reciting at very young. But of course, because we come from Africa, of course, African language like Swahili. I don't speak Somali as well, by the way.
Do you speak Swahili?
I speak Swahili.
And you can recite in Urdu?
I can recite in Urdu.
Can you recite in Swahili as well?
Not yet. Inshallah, Mullah Rashid hopefully can, give us some
and English. So I realised you have never have done any English recitation.
I've not done an English recitation.
How comes? What's the motivation behind that? There must be a reason, because mashallah, I'm sure you've had the opportunity to, right?
Yeah, many times.
Yeah.
Many times, many people have asked me, like, please just do English,
Okay.
I think I just need a bit more preparation, like, to get into the English world. And because I've just been fully adapted into the Pakistani community and Urdu speaking language since very young, I don't know, I think it may take a bit of time, and it could be a new thing for me as well.
So it's not that you don't want to?
No, not at all. Another thing is, I think it will take a lot of time. It will require a lot of time and hard efforts to make sure, because if you want to do it in English as well, English also is it's a high level. You have many people that are doing it anyways. And I also strongly believe that if there's more than enough people to do it in the English side, then why not cover the Urdu side?
Yeah, God
Alhamdulillah, we have amazing talent in the UK, like doing the English side of poetry, recital.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we'll ask the brothers and sisters if you would like, and you can hear us, and you would like
definitely
Mullah Yusuf Okera to recite in English,
inshallah,
then tag, like, share, comment. We'll leave it to you.
Definitely.
If it pops, that's it.
Done.
And I'm very happy.
That's my promise.
I'm very happy to write for you.
Habibi,
it will be my honor.
Allah bless you.
And if you, I'm sure there's other poets that will be.
But only on one case. So the next track, if that's the case, Mullah Rashid should do Urdu, doesn't? I guess that makes full sense, isn't it?
Yeah,
I do English and he does.
Can Mullah Rashid speak Urdu properly?
I can't speak it, but he's banging it with Urdu, man.
Really?
Last week he came for Eid al-Zahra at Clifton Road, Birmingham. And I guess I wasn't there, but the whole audience, I guess, was expecting him to do Arabic, English, whatnot.
And he just
15 minutes.
He pulled out Urdu.
Bangs out Urdu, everyone was just going mad. So
wow.
Why not?
Geo. There you go. Okay, so one of the things I'd like to ask, and I think, it's a difficult question for me to ask, and probably a difficult one to answer. So I wanted to take your time with it.
Sure.
We'll just make sure we don't crash as we talk.
Yeah.
So, mashallah, when you are a reciter, and you have a large number of, you've travelled all over the world now.
Alhamdulillah.
Whether it be for ziyarah groups, as we said, with the likes of Haraka Tours and others.
Yeah.
I know you've been to North America. I know you've been to probably Tanzania, East Africa, other parts as well.
Exactly.
All over the UK. Now you said Germany, Europe as well.
Yeah.
And there will be times where you're reciting and there's big crowds.
Yeah.
Probably thousands of people.
Absolutely. If not more, definitely.
If not more. So how do you keep yourself grounded during that time? Bear with me on this question, because I think no matter who you are, once you're there and you're reciting, and there's that many people who are listening to every note and every word you recite, and they all come up to you afterwards and they want to kiss you and hug you and they tell you how amazing you are, it's a difficult thing to stay grounded.
Yep. With full honesty, it reaches that certain age after you've been doing it for a long time, especially in my case, it's been 16 years, alhamdulillah.
Yes.
So it definitely does come to a time where you feel now I'm a bit more recognized than before.
Yeah.
I have a bit more responsibilities.
Yeah.
And the game is just
you
growing.
You feel like you're top of you're getting towards the top of your game.
I guess you could say that.
Yeah, which is a natural feeling to feel because you've got the experience.
Absolutely.
You're getting the recommendation.
Absolutely.
You're getting the invites. You're getting people telling you.
Absolutely.
So how do you? And I know like one thing that we know is a difficult thing to deal with is ego.
Yeah.
In all honesty, and mashallah, the reason I'm asking you this is because I my interactions with you make me know that you're a very humble person, mashallah. So the question is, how do you? And by the way, it doesn't have to be. I'm sure there's brothers and sisters at home, or I speak for myself first, that might have that in other scenarios. It doesn't have to be just in your khidmah. It could be at work. It could be a family. It could be in a relationship. It could be with, for wife, a husband, with kids, whatever it is. But how do you fight your and kind of push back your ego?
The more you understand the respect, and in Urdu they say adab. So adab means respect.
Yeah, also in Arabic.
Probably in Arabic, okay.
Yeah.
So the more you understand the respect of what you're doing, and the Farshi Azhar, and the mosques and the centers, and Abu Abdullah alayhi salam himself, I guess naturally in itself you feel that, look, you have a great responsibility, man. Don't forget who you're doing it for. It's very, very easy. Like there's many people that maybe you could say were reciters, or maybe singers, then came to reciters, or reciters to singers, just because of this one reason, ego, or because they think that they've got the best voices now. Maybe they can go into other fields because they're not receiving enough recognition in their own communities. However, with me, simply it's come to the tarbiyah of my parents, and as I said, the whole Okera family very, very spiritually strong, alhamdulillah. The spiritual environments have always been secured, and this is around the whole globe. So not only for myself, for all my family members around the globe, everyone's reciting, mashallah, alhamdulillah. So it's something that we've all grown up into. And the more you grow into it, like you're going to be surrounded by your parents, make sure you go this way. And the more you hear it just naturally becomes like you feel scared before you take a step. Before I do this, just remember what my mum or dad told me, like, is he going to help me in the future?
Is there any bit of, because I know you mentioned tarbiyah, is there anything specific, any moment, any bit of advice, any nasiha, like recommendation from your dad, in particular, that sticks with you?
In specific, this is a very personal conversation me and my dad have had, but I should definitely take it out there. Commercialism is something that can also be a major contribution to ego.
Yes.
So you reach a certain stage of life where you feel you can start charging, for example, and hadiyah and whatnot. So with me, it was very different. My dad would always tell me, look, you go there, you recite, you don't expect any money, you don't expect anything in return. For you, if anything, it's your petrol costs. That's all you're going to ask for. Other than that, you're going to serve Abu Abdullah alayhi salam.
That's the goal. If there's something else,
there's nothing,
then that's up to the people.
That's up to the people. But for you have to make sure that you just go and recite simply.
That's interesting.
Because that's what I did. That's
are you against? Because I know there is a part of community, whether it be reciters or lecturers, who are quite clear that they have certain rates. So when you contact them, is that something you're against?
I don't blame them at all, because I guess like knowing things that are happening these days, like people have to do things for certain reasons. We can't really explain people's positions in life. Everyone's going through a different position. Maybe other people are in need of that financial support, so they have no other option but to gain the income from I personally wouldn't. I think it's always better to get your income from somewhere else. Of course, you do receive hadiyah from
and by the way, there's one thing, maybe like something I've always thought, and maybe the brothers, some people at home have thought about this as well, is we have a lot of examples of the Imams alayhum salam rewarding with hadaya, with gifts.
Phenomenal.
To the reciters. And in fact, Imam Rida alayhi salam, when he was with Da'bul, if you know the story, and he recited, the amount that he gave to him in the hadith shocked the people around him. So they were like, that's a lot that you're giving him.
It's a big
so
thing.
It's not a thing that, you know, I think it's a lovely point that you mentioned, which is, if you put your hand with the hand of Abu Abdullah Hussein alayhi salam, he'll look after you.
No doubt.
So you maybe don't need to say, this is my fee. But I think people as well know that, you know, if you're doing a good job and you're humble and you're trying your best and, you know, you're really giving the lovers of Imam Hussein an experience that they take to their heart, then I think people are willing to do that anyway.
Another thing is a personal story that I'd like to share.
Please.
Before I was born, my mother faced 4 miscarriages.
Oh wow.
So for me, being a reciter in the family is a very, very huge thing for my parents in specific. Losing 4 babies isn't easy, of course.
Must be.
And of course you lose hope as well after, you know, is the 5th one even possible? Like, we don't know. So my mom traveled to the whole, like across many countries, many countries where doctors are based on very high levels, and they said, look, a 5th isn't possible at all. You cannot get a 5th child, and with your circumstances it's not possible. Anywhere you go to in the world, Germany, Congo,
it becomes
UK,
dangerous for the mum then.
Absolutely. Anywhere you go, it's not happening. And it was 2002, so of course I was born in 2003. 2002, before the month of Muharram, there was someone going to the holy city of Iraq for Muharram. And my dad told him, look, Muharram has come once again this year. I just want a child, honestly, and I want a child that is going to continue the recitals and the recitations which I've been doing. I want a reciter, and I want to gift him to Abul Fadl al-Abbas alayhi salam in specific. So he requested him and said, please go to Iraq, please go to Abul Fadl al-Abbas alayhi salam and tell him that I want a son that is going to be his servant. So after he came back, just before the next Muharram, alhamdulillah, I came into this world. So this is something my dad always repeats this to me. He doesn't
Your
tell
name
me
is
why.
probably Yusuf Abbas then?
Yusuf Ali Abbas.
There
Yusuf
you go.
Ali Abbas.
There you go.
Yeah.
MashaAllah.
So my dad always repeats the story. He doesn't tell me why, but I think I've understood why he's telling me as well, because that just like, it just shows more of the importance, like why I've been sent here simply for service. I've come with their blessings. I have to stick to the rules, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
So
definitely.
that's one eye opener for me, and that's something that always makes me think constantly of my steps and of what I'm about to do.
Yeah, absolutely,
you know?
Absolutely.
Things like these definitely have an impact on your journey.
100%, man. I think as well as, like, there's so many things that as you grow up you then find out about yourself or what your parents went through for you,
absolutely,
that has helped shape, but you you don't often consider or comprehend those things.
Definitely.
But there's inherent things in you that make you that maybe you don't know about, that your parents have gone through.
Absolutely.
And you know, they've made you another to Al-Abbas alayhi salam, to say that this person is going to be at your service.
Alhamdulillah. Exactly.
MashaAllah, what a beautiful story. Alhamdulillah. Mullah, thank you so much for your time. It's been an absolute honor. Lovely conversation. Inshallah, I wish you a safe journey. You're going back to Birmingham? Inshallah, after the studio. Safe journey. And also, inshallah, we'll see you very, very soon in the holy land of Karbala as well. Before we go, we need to do our quick fire round.
That's fine.
So this is every guest. We give them some quick fire questions. I want you to just basically, the first thing that comes to your mind, go for it. If it's an option, choose the option. If it's an open question, if a sentence, quick 1, 2 sentences, and we're going. So, ready?
Sure.
Good. First question. If you could be anywhere in the world right now, where would you go?
Oof, that's a madness. It would be back home, you know. It would be Kenya right now.
Yeah?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind being in Kenya.
Why Kenya?
I've just been there since young age. I would be there 3-4 times in a year.
Nice. Okay, good. Which is your favorite surah in the Quran and why?
Surah in the Quran. Oof, that's a hard one. I'll say Surah Yusuf.
Why?
Because I was named after.
Good answer. Okay. Mullah Mir Hassan Mirbhai or Mullah Nadeem Sarwar Bhai?
Oof.
You have to
They're
choose one.
both legends.
You have to choose one.
Both
You have to
legends.
choose one.
But as I said, I've been listening to Mullah Mir Hassan Mir.
Okay, good, solid. Option question.
Sure.
Which is better, Iraqi latam, Pakistani latam, or Khoja latam?
Pakistani and Khoja, what's the difference? Not much a difference, but Pakistani.
Pakistani.
For me, it's
above Khojas.
Absolutely.
Sell out.
Absolutely.
Okay. What is the favorite community you have recited to outside of the UK?
Outside of the UK, so far it was definitely Canada.
Canada, yeah.
Canada.
MashaAllah. Shout out. Which part of Canada?
Alhamdulillah. I did JCC in Toronto.
Toronto,
and
Mandem.
Montreal as well.
And Montreal.
Haaj
MashaAllah.
Hayder Association.
Amazing. Okay. Nihari or biryani?
Nihari any day, man.
Yeah.
Any day. Any day. Nihari is the one.
That's my favorite one as well. That's why I put it, bro.
Fair enough.
These questions are written by me, by the way.
See?
Okay. Who's the person you talk to when you need a listening ear?
When I need a listening ear, my cousin.
Cousin.
Yeah, my first cousin. Yeah, very close. He's my brother, of course.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could be any Pokemon, which one would you be and why?
I'm not a fan of Pokemon.
Everyone knows at least one Pokemon.
Not
Don't
my
know any
thing,
Pokemon.
mate. Not my thing at all.
That's it. You're
Not my
reciting.
thing. No,
you were reciting instead of watching
not my thing,
Pokemon.
Pokemon at all.
Penultimate question. What makes you nervous?
We just spoke about this. Very interesting. Wow. So sometimes before reciting, very sometimes, but before it used to be a bit more, of course. Yeah,
Anything else
sometimes
that
of
makes you
course
nervous?
it's a natural thing though.
Anything else that makes you nervous?
Sometimes of course university. Sometimes you have an overload of work and whatnot. It does get.
God bless
it
you.
gets annoying.
Uni days, bro. They were a long time ago
You
for
miss
me.
it?
No. And the last question is, which Imam alayhi salam do you feel closest to and why?
It would be Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Definitely. As I said, I gave you a personal story of Abul Fadl al-Abbas alayhi salam. The closest to Abul Fadl al-Abbas alayhi salam is Imam Hussein alayhi salam. But not only that, what we've seen in Karbala is just no words, man.
Salaam alayka ya Abd.
For those who don't know us, labbaik ya Hussein.
Labbaik ya Hussein.
That's
Well, a
the
lovely way to end
Jazakumullah
the
khairan.
conversation.
Thank
Thank you for
you so much.
joining
It's
us
been a
today.
great honor.
Honestly,
Shukran.
massive honor. Safe
Shukran.
journey back.
Thank
God
you
bless
so
you.
much.
Inshallah, we'll
Thank
see you
you.
very soon
Inshallah.
in the holy lands of
Inshallah.
Karbala. Habibi Mullah.
Shukran,
Thank you so
Habibi.
much.
Jazakumullah khairan.
My dear brothers and sisters, another episode of Behind the Wheel has come and gone. Thank you so much to our guest for today, Mullah Yusuf Okera Bai, and inshallah Rabbi Ta'ala, we will have another episode for you next week. So join us, make sure you don't miss out, and see who will be behind the wheel. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.